Page 22, Romance. This is the second movement of the Sonatina that's on page 20. Let's look it over. It's 2 pages long, 2 pages of music, because it's repeated and all that, so it'll last longer than that, but just 2 pages of music. Treble bass clef, 1 sharp in the key signature. This is in the key of G major, so be doing the scales and probably the arpeggios for G major and E minor. E minor has 1 sharp. And 6/8 time, which explains all the 8th notes. Everywhere. Right hand first. I'm going to fingering that lets me connect the notes. I have a few suggestions. We'll see. You have a pickup. So we're coming in on beat 4. 4, 5, 6, 1. 4, 1, 2, 3. And I'll do the grace note later. Just 1, 2. And then the 3. And then thumb. I like that. If you're doing scales, this is easy. If you're not doing scales, you'll probably struggle with this going under stuff. Do the scales. 3rd line down is here. 3, 2, 1. There are other fingerings, but this is fine. And then scale. It's actually a D major scale, but that's all right. Just follow their fingering, it seems to be fine. Until we get to measure 21. They want you to do this here and slide off. Well, it's a new phrase. They want you to lift up. Like so. That's interpretation. I don't like using the same finger. So what I would do is simply use the thumb instead. I'm going to use the thumb as my extra finger. But I'm going to leave the hand here because I want 4th finger on the C. This way. We do this a lot because sometimes you need an extra finger because of the black keys, and the thumb kind of sticks in there and substitutes. On page 23, it's 4th line down, the last 2 measures. You're here and then reach up here, here, and I recommend 4 here and then 2, 1. So I got all of those in 1 hand position. I didn't have to cross over the thumb. Here. Same thing. The last 2 measures, do a 2, 5. And then this one, the last one, you 1, 5 or 2, 5 or whatever you want. Just play them. Now on this thing on 5, 4, back on the 4th line, I had someone comment on a video. They couldn't quite do this because they had really short fingers. And to that I would have to say, keep trying. Short fingers or not, keep trying. You need to be able to do that. I had a teacher, a concert pianist, extremely good, unbelievable. She had such little hands, she could just barely reach an octave. I mean, she really had to stretch to get that octave. Just barely reach. She had such little hands. She did this kind of stuff just, it takes getting used to, and you eventually kind of stretch, you learn to stretch out. That's what the arpeggios will do for you. If you do the tremolo exercise in the arpeggios, that'll help you start stretching out. But don't give up on this 5/4 thing just because you got little fingers. Left hand's broken chords. 1 chord, 5, 7. Then in measure 3, it's 2 voices. The bottom voice here and the top voice. So hold the bottom voice down. It'd be nice if you use 4th finger on that 1. So you could connect them, but you can go ahead and use 5th if you need to. Just make sure you hold the bottom voice down. Now in the 3rd line, we have 4, 2, and a 5, 1. And I recommend on the next one, come across and do a 3, 2, and then down. Here. You can almost connect them. In the 4th line down, we have an extra note, and we just cross it over for it to get it. Measure 17, the chord. I do a 4 on the F sharp. Some people do 3, but I do 4. And it's just every other note in the key. That's all it is. The wavy line, I'll do that later. Then I'll put the hands together, and I'll hesitate. That's okay. That's fine. You put the heads together. I already did. And then go back over it just a few measures at a time slowly and get rid of the hesitations. Go as slow as you need to, but no hesitations anywhere. And once the hesitations are gone, then I'll add in the articulation in these ornaments. Connect it. See, all of that is one phrase. I connect all. Then you can lift up. Now they give you a rest. You have to lift up. I'd connect all that together. See, most of these are just slurs they're giving you. In the left hand, you do connect the first two, and then boom, chuck, chuck. So it's... Grace notes. Just a real quick note. And it comes on the beat, so it's going to come with the F sharp. Yeah, so it's... Now at the bottom of the page, measure 17, the rolled chord. Just a real quick chord. Hold them down. And it's not rhythmic, it's just real quick. And different people interpret this differently. You do whatever your teacher tells you to do. They will take all of these notes as one. That way. Like so. I was taught in college, the bottom note comes on the beat, so I'm going to play that one together. And since it's louder up there, I might slow that down a little bit, a little more emphasis. Because it has a fermata, hang on to it and then take off. Okay, I'll measure 30. I do these on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Some people would do them before the beat. That's not Beethoven. No, just on the beat. Same thing in the next line. So once I add the articulation and the ornaments, then I add the dynamics, and it applies to the melody, which is the right hand. Sort of soft at the beginning. Left hand's very soft. Second line crescendo. Come down. Third line starts sort of soft and go up. Oh, I missed measure 9, excuse me. You have staccato and a slur. It's like, make up your mind. This is like a portato. It's a long staccato. It's not short. Long staccato. You just separate them. Up to moderately loud. And then measure 19, you're loud. Hang on to that for a bit, and then go. Down, soft. You do the dynamics. And then once the dynamics are in, then I think about the speed. And minor alto's in the middle. It just needs to feel it. It's a 1, 2. Now they've added pedal in a few places, and in my opinion, you don't need pedal on this. I think this was written more for harpsichord, and harpsichord doesn't have pedals. You don't need pedal at all. However, they've added it, and if you really want to use the pedal, or your teacher says, no, it's there, so use it, this is my suggestion on the pedal. They're using pedal, it looks like, at the bottom of page 22 on these chords. Put the notes down first, and then the chords, and then the pedal. Lift the pedal with the hand so we get a 1 beat rest. 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 And you you can lift the pedal with the hands if you want to hear the phrasing. On page 23 in the second line, they have you using a measure 26. I disagree. I would not use pedal there. I'm not using it in that kind of a part anywhere else, so I wouldn't use it there. Don't bother. But on the third line here in measure 30, as I do the first little note, lift it up. And then on measure 34, they're doing it again. I would not pedal that measure. Just don't. Probably doing it so they can be a little different. It's the last time you do it in that section. And a lot of times when you play a musical passage or motif, theme little thing, the last time you play it, you'll change it a little bit. And by adding the pedal, they change it. It's all I can think of. But I wouldn't use it. Just don't. Now, on measure 35, if you want, you can use pedal on the fourth beat. Here, I would not use it on the first beat because you're finishing the previous thought without pedal. Now, you get the idea. I don't like it. I don't like pedal there at all. I would not use pedal in this piece anywhere. If I were your teacher, I'd cross those out. But you do it the way your teacher is telling you. Now at the end, the last two measures, you're pedaling to the chords. And that's quite common. A lot of times with chords, we'll color them, we'll add the overtones to them. You put the pedal down right after the notes, lift it up for the rest. But again, I would not pedal. I don't suggest you do. Couple of things I missed before. Page measure 16, you get the crescendo. Each one of these little thing, groups of four notes going a little louder, now, loud. And there's a crescendo. I missed that before. Shame on me. Okay. And on measure 21, you have a poco rit. You're slow down. And then the alt tempo means go again. And there's a couple of ways of interpreting an alt tempo. Then you have to pick and choose which way you're going to do it. Sometimes one works better than the other. And that is, one way to do it is when you get to the alt tempo, you just instantly take off. Another way is to speed up into it. So you speed up into it. Don't take too long to speed up in, not more than 2 or 3 notes to speed up into it, and then you go. Whichever. Since you're playing it twice, it's repeated. Maybe one time you play it one way and the other time you interpret it a different way. It'd be nice to change something if you're going to play it twice. Change something. And you can't change notes or rhythms, but you can change your interpretation of the tempo or the dynamics or articulation or something. Yeah.